Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ken Knows Gambling. Happy Thursday to everybody. And today we're going to talk about laying versus don't pass or don't calm. Now, craps generally is a game of opposites. And in this game of opposites, you have to use your own logic, your own theories, as to which one of these opposites you want to play. For example, simple pass line is opposite exactly than the don't pass. The come bet is the same as the pass line, except you have to wait until there's a point. Same thing with the don't come. All right. Now, if I, place a 4 or buy a 4, it's basically 2 to 1. But a lay is 1 to 2. Everything is opposites, right? So, what I wanted to do today, let's say you've got a simple, you're going to do a $30 6, $30 8, and you want to come out of the DC, but you want these on all the time, which Waylon does a lot. Just turns them on. All right? All right. Immediately, the disadvantage to this bet is if the 7 comes now, you lose 160 bucks because you're going to lose this and you're going to lose that. All right, so that disadvantage you've got to put in your brain, and maybe you just go, let's just wait. Let's see if we can get this out, then lay it. Okay, you have to decide your own logic. Now, if I come up here and lay the 4, well, it's only 50 bucks versus 60. If you could do that, but you're on hook for 10 bucks minus a little vig here, so that'd be about $2 vig there. All right, but if the 7 came now, you wouldn't lose 160, you'd lose about 10. So you have to decide. Now, you could put 200 there, that'd be worth 100. So you'd have about $40 there if the 7 hit. Versus if the 7 hits, you lose 160. If the 7 hits, you win 50. You have to decide, right? Then you can say, well, Ken, I only have to put 100 there to cover the same amount as I'd have to put on a lay. That is an absolutely true statement. However, 8 ways to lose that. 6 ways on a 7, 2 ways on an 11, 8 ways to lose versus 3 ways to lose. You have to decide. Okay? If you ever want to plug, if you go DC and it comes out, you can plug them and you can make money either way, but you can't with a lay because it's exactly opposite. Okay? You can't put 100. You could put 100 here. If it wins, you tie. If this comes through, you got 100 and 200, you tie. Okay? So as you can see, there's goods, bads, whatever. What is the best way? I'll let you decide. But today, I'm going to play everything out of the lay. Now, if I'm laying, what that means is I am trying to protect whatever I've got out here. So you have to, and now you can lay different numbers. That would pay 100. 1 to 2. This is 2 to every 3. So I could put, well, you got to do this in 3s. So if I want to go 60, 60, 60, 60 is 180. I could do 180. If I wanted to make money, 180 would win 120, right? 3-2. This is 5 for every 6. But the risk of getting hit goes up. All right. Now, one more last thing. If you come out of the DC and let's say it goes to the 5, you went from 8 ways to lose to 4 ways to lose. You helped yourself by 2 versus just laying over here and it's just 3 ways to lose all the time. Again, you have to decide. You're trying to do the same thing. It's just an extra move here, right? So we're going to do a 6-8, just a simple 6-8. I'm going to use this. Actually, no, I tell you what I'm going to do. I want the insides. That's going to change this. I got to go 3 now. That'll give me 150. That give me a few dollars profit. But I'm only going to keep this layup until I've got really profit, and then I don't need it anymore. So let's do that. We'll turn everything on, and let's just roll this out for a little bit. Here we go. Oh, by the way, I forgot. There's a 5. Every strategy will go down. Every tweak, all your reasoning, theory, logic, trends, whatever, will fail you sooner or later if you play it long enough. Best bet in all the casino is to never make the first bet because gambling will make that ass pucker. All right, here we go. Now, I don't want that lay. Now, you can take a DC down just like you can a lay. Generally, though, you're working so hard to get that DC out, it's just easier to plug it instead of taking it down. That's an advantage this side. Well, I don't want this up forever. So I've won 35. You sort of got to keep this in your head. Okay, there's a 9. I'm up 70 bucks. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, see, there's so many things to think about in craps. If you wanted to, you bring this down and you bring this down. You're up 10 no matter what. You have to decide the move. All right. Or I've won 70. I could bring this down to where now that's worth 100. If I go down 110, I've already won 70. So I'm not, you know what I mean? You've got to play with the numbers. Now, what you might want to do at this point, you've got a couple. Now let's see if we can draw it down before we get that 4. There's a 9. Let's take it and draw it down. Now my risk out here has just dropped. I'm making profit. So now I'm up 105 bucks and I only have, what, 85 out there? I don't need this anymore. Let's get rid of it. I'm in profit. Why? I don't have to risk that anymore. That's all it was there for. There's a 2. There's an 8. And we're going to get paid and draw it down. Actually, no. I tell you what I'm going to do. Since they're all worth 35, I'll leave that up. I'll draw the 5 down. Now my risk is 60. I've won about 135, 140 bucks. I just used the lay as a little protection until I could get where I was going to go. And if the 7 would have come, I'd have made a few bucks. And I've got the 4 or the 10. You know, like it or not, if you're going to lay, to me, that's the ones you lay. Anyway, here we go. Let's just continue. I don't need the protection anymore. There's the 7. Okay, so what? Let's see what happened. On that particular series, I won 80 bucks. Say, well, Ken, you're risking $300. It's gambling, folks. I don't know how else to tell you, but when you put $1 out on the table, you are risking it. Pick your fucking poison. Alright? And what me or Waylon or John or whatever does, that we believe that's the best way to do it, doesn't mean you believe that's the best way to do it. And that's the beauty. I keep telling people that all the time. You have your own theory, your own logic, your own whatever. I know that when you ask us all questions, it's because you value our opinion. And believe me, we all appreciate it. But at the end of the day, it's like anything else. You have to study this, study this, study this, know what your moves are, have extreme bankroll management, extreme discipline. But use your head. Why are you making a move? If you make a move, you need to know why. Why are you doing it? You need to tell yourself, I'm doing this because. And if it makes sense to you, it's a good deal. All right? So let me come back out. Just like we did before. Okay, what's my logic right now? Well, I've got the best number in the house, one of these. I'm not going to keep it up forever, and I just want to protect this against a come out 7. That's all. That's my logic at the moment. Versus coming down here, let's say for 2 or 150 or whatever, and having 8 ways to lose. And I have to get this out. My logic, and I'm just giving you pretend logic right now, y'all. My logic is to go that way. Well, if that's your logic, that's fine. And if somebody don't like your logic, tell them to go fuck themselves. They told me that when I gambled for a living, that my 9-step martingale system, and of course it's just more than a 9-step. If you haven't watched that series, go back and watch it. I had time limits. I had a whole bunch of protections on top of the 9-step. I was told I was stupid for 2 fucking years. But, hey, it never beat me, so, you know, everybody that told me that, nanny, fucking boo-boo. Alright, here we go. Oops, there's a 9. Okay, this time, we'll play it a little bit different. We'll do an immediate drawdown. Okay, well, I've only got $85 there. I don't need this 100. I only need that. I'm going to take this risk down. What's my logic? Well, my logic is I only need 100 to cover 85 bucks. I don't need that extra. I'm not trying to use this as a profit center like maybe I would on a don't pass. I'm just trying to use it as protection. That's it. Okay? And so let's go. There's an 8. Beautiful. Okay, draw it down. Alright, now what's my logic? Well, I'm only using that for protection. I've only got 55 bucks out there. I'll risk 5 bucks. Let's draw this down. Let's take that down. Okay, I've already made some money. So let's try that. There's a 6. 35. Take it down. Okay? Now watch this. Let's take this. Let's throw 50 here, because all I need is to protect that. Or just take that back. You're in profit. Doesn't matter. Okay? You have to decide. Let's see if we can get that last 5. Oh, we did. We got lucky. 25. 35. Your series is over. You're free. You got your rack back. Look at where we are. My whole point is, because there's so many opposites and there's so many things that you can do, knowledge is power. John Patrick said it a long time ago. Okay? What's his big four? Which was bankroll, money management, discipline, and knowledge. You've got to have the knowledge of the game you're playing. I'm assuming that's why you watch. Now, I know a lot of you are watching to see the Holy Grail strategy, the strategy that can never lose. Well, it don't exist, so quit looking. and quit trying to build one that is that way, because it ain't and you can't. Instead, get the knowledge of this game. What each thing can do, the goods and bads of each thing. I know it's going to take time, man. I didn't learn this shit overnight. I'm 63 years old, still learning. All right? So that was series number 2, something that you can do with the lay. Now I'm up 175. Let's get a quarter for that. 200. I'm up 220. If that's enough, go home. All right, now let's do it again. What do you do if you lose? If you get popped? Well, you don't necessarily have to do a ladder. You're just going to have to do extra work. That's all. But if it happens, I'll show you. But I'm going to go one more run at it. But this time, I'm going to do it yet different. Now watch me. I'm just trying to show you different ways you can use the lay. What if you got more money than God and you want to come out here, big guns. Okay? You're just looking for one hit so you can do something else. Well, you got 540. Man, you got to come out pretty much 1,200 bucks. But remember, you got more money than God had. Okay? You want to do it for one shot. You want to avoid, you've got 33 ways to not lose, 3 ways to lose. Maybe you want to use the lay this way. Now on that, you're going to have $600. 600, 10% is 60. You got about $30 in VIGs on this play. All right, keep that in mind. But I only want one hit. Now, my logic is saying probability dictates that I can get one before that 4 hits. Doesn't guarantee it, because one of those 3 ways can damn sure come up. But it's gambling. I'm gambling all this shit that it won't. Odds are in my favor. All right. So, what I'm looking for is one hit. There's a 3. And there's the 5. So I'm going to get 140 for this. There's my 140. Okay? I damn sure don't need that anymore. Right? So I'm going to take it all down. Maybe that's all you were trying to do. Make an extra 140. Well, you just did it. Or bring your bank back to level. Now you got $140 sitting there. Keep it. Maybe you play a 6 and 8. Maybe you come in with an inside. All right. So let's play an inside move. And let's do, probably most tables out there are 15s. But I still have enough if I wanted to. So I'm going to do that. Let me get some more 5s here. I haven't seen a $10 table in forever. So let's go 15, 15, 15, 15. That's 60 bucks. Remember, I just won 140. So this is pure profit, and even if this goes down, I'm okay. It did its job. That's all I wanted it to do. And Let's see if we can make something happen. There's an 8. That's going to pay me 20, right here. That's going to pay me 21. Okay. I'm not even going to do a drawdown. I'm just going to, it's profit. I might take a couple hits and then spread out to the 4 and 10. Add to this. So we're going to take that first one. There's an 11. There's a 5. That's worth 21. So I've made $42 right there. So maybe you add half of that. Let's just add that right now. Let's keep 10. I always want to pull something. Alright, here we go. 2, and it doesn't matter if they go down. You've still won money, so don't worry about it. There's a 10. Another 10. Goodness gracious. There's a 6. That's worth 21. Alright, now let's add to the 6 and 8. Alrighty. There's a 4. And there's a 7. Alright. Hip hip hooray. I need to put my rack back. Let's take a nickel plus that. Let's see if that's enough. There we go. Now what? 100. 100. There's 300. Let's get a quarter for that one. 325, 335. I didn't have to use that 4, so there's no bigs there. So I'm going to give $10 tip. There we go. Let's get our bags out. So let me get 200 here. Alright, bank gets 100 as always. This time excess gets 100 and fun gets 100. Guess what? It's the KKG fuck you bet. Here we go. And what am I gonna do this time? I haven't done the come yet. Let's do a come bet. Alright, there's a 4. Let's just see if we can make a come bet work. There's an 8. It's not really a exciting fuck you bet. There's a 2. 6. 7 out. Boy. Alright, so we lose that. But that's alright. We did well. I hope y'all enjoyed that little video there. I don't even know what I'm going to title it. I just want to get people, instead of just watching YouTube to find the damn Holy Grail system. Let me just tell you, you ain't going to find it. It ain't there. Stop looking. Rather, study the game. You know, risk versus reward. What can these things do? What can they do putting combinations together? Study, study, study. To where you could become an expert of the game and you don't need advice anymore. Hell, you can give advice. Get that good with your knowledge. Then that's going to open up Pandora's box for you. All right? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time, be great.
See you, bye.